Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and we are going to do another cutting for you. This is Clutch 10. Make sure and click like, subscribe, and go check out the Patreon for all the cool community support. But I did want to discuss really quick before we go cutting into these a few things about the setup. You can use whatever you want here. I've switched things kind of wherever I got laying around. I use Paralyte's my favorite. This was vermiculate. I've used coconut. It really does not matter. This stuff here, people are going to tell you it's got to be a certain thing. It does not. Doesn't matter if it has Miracle Grow in it, because your eggs aren't going to be touching it. The goal is to always keep the eggs out of it. So if you have your eggs lifted, then this is just, all it is to keep water from sloshing. It's just a mechanism to hold moisture and to keep it from sloshing on the eggs and to help support that grate. Now, if you're putting these directly in to the substrate, then yeah, you gotta be a little more choosy about your substrate. I've never done that, so I don't have to worry about it. What are the straws for? The straws that I just pulled out, they're simply there to keep eggs from rolling around. You're like, well, Matt, that thing ain't gonna roll. Look at that. Well, that's because it's flat on the bottom now. But when I first put it in there, it wasn't flat on the bottom, and it could roll around pretty easy. So you put those straws there to keep that from happening. And now when it's time to go ahead and cut these eggs, I don't have to worry about them taking on a little bit of moisture now. So now they can go directly into the substrate. These are fully formed babies. Everything should be good to go. Shouldn't be any worries. Drop those things down like that, and it should be just fine. So what are we dealing with here in Clutch 10? Well, this was a pastel Spotnose bred to a leopard pastel. So we have the possibility of pastel, pastel leopard, leopard, super pastel leopard. I think that's about it. And of course normals. So there's quite a few different odds on here. We had 8 eggs laid, 8 healthy eggs. Here they all are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it did really, really good. What are we really hoping to see in here? Well, super pastel leopards, of course. Honestly, this is kind of a clutch that I didn't really know what to throw to that pastel leopard, and we really like what a Spotnose pastel leopard looks like. So it was like, you know what? We'll just do that. Let's go ahead and start opening these things. Start right here at the top. These are in the 50s on days. I'm not sure exactly which day, but they're all close enough. There's baby number 1. I think that might be a pastel leopard. Probably not a Spotnose in that one though. We shall see. Ew, look at that. Egg gross. Cut that one on top, and then of course it gets juice everywhere. Another big old healthy baby. That one may be just a pastel. We'll know when it's out. Okay, you're moving in there. So 2 for 2, alive and well. And the only you can control to an extent is that. And you can't even control that all the way, to be honest. I mean, you can set them up the best you can for success, which these were set up really, really well. Held moisture good. Everything went well in incubation. But even that doesn't mean that I can guarantee everything will be fine in every egg. Some of it's just outside your control. And that looks better. See how washed out that is? There's a good chance. See that blushing? We got the super pastel in there. Can't tell in the leopard portion yet. But yeah, looks a lot better. Ooh, like that. This is the one that wasn't connected to anything, so. If you leak out a little juice, not a big deal. I mean, your goal should not be to do that all the time, but it's going to happen. It ain't a problem. Now that's a pretty looking snake in there. Can't tell all the genetics yet either because we can see in its belly, but again, big and healthy. Got 4 more. Remember the first time we cut eggs from that leopard, it was a possible super leopard when we got it, based on the pairing. And then we had all but one leopards. So it wasn't super. That one's definitely got leopard in it. You can see right away. Definitely in there. Really cool. This one's all kinds of moving around in there now. Okay, secret about me, I actually really have a hard time with the way albumin, which is the juice in an egg, feels. I do not like that gooey, slippery, nasty feeling at all. I find it very disgusting. So sometimes this is hard for me, but I do it anyway. Now that looks like we got leopard in there, definitely got pastel in there, maybe even super as light as that head is. Oh, get a little movement, yeah, we're doing fine. It's like, don't poke me in the head. Probably a pastel leopard there, but not seeing Spotnose necessarily. Spotnose, you're going to get a lot of linking in that pattern on these. It may be hard to kind of tell until they're all the way out. Really, come here. This is an egg that's just going to be hard to get into. You can see why we do this carefully, because right there's the nose. So you do want to first cut, be careful, because you never know where that face is. So far, the good news is, with one egg left, so I'm not sure if I'm seeing the super pastel Spotnose leopard so far, but I haven't seen a normal so far either. So hopefully I didn't just jinx myself, and which is always the goal, right? We want to produce as few normals as possible, not because there's anything wrong with them. It's just you have a little bit harder time finding them a good home. And from the point of like, you know, we got to have some profitability, right? Even though our main driver in this is not really money. If you're not, you know, we don't want to be at a negative either, right? And with the normal, you're usually going to spend more on that animal than you're going to make from it. Now that's really nice right there. Probably another super pastel. Let that crawl out. That pattern's pretty funky. We may have Spotnose in that. Guess we'll know when it comes out. And a Spotnose pastel can also kind of fool you, because a Spotnose pastel by itself, it really works on brightening the pastel up and making it look much nicer. So with that being said, anything I'm saying, oh, that looks like a super, very well could crawl out and I could decide it looks like a Spotnose and not a super. So with Spotnose, few things for those of you not familiar with the gene. If you hate spider, you should hate Spotnose. I like spiders. It's not a problem for me. It is connected to the spider. It does contain some of the very same wobble that you'll see with spider. You should not pair Spotnose to spider. Your odds of making a viable snake are very, very low. Your odds of really, really debilitating wobble go through the roof, where debilitating wobble odds with just Spotnose or just spider are actually very low, but comboed together, not good. Keep out your champagne too. I, for one, don't want Spotnose to Spotnose. It's called a power ball. People do tend to do that. I don't, because the super form, the viability of it's got some serious questions. Basically, when it comes to a snake with a known wobble, which is a whole handful more than just spider, it's got that same type of condition. A good rule of thumb, don't breed them together or to each other. That's going to save you across the board. About the only exception to that is blackhead. Blackhead is in the spider complex. A blackhead spider looks like a normal, but it doesn't wobble. But when you breed it, you'll get blackheads and spiders. But guess what? The spiders from that still do have wobble. So blackhead doesn't cure it. Just together, it masks it. So that's about the only one in that combo, I would say, knock yourself out. If you want to do blackhead Spotnose or blackhead champagne, that's fine. But Spotnose champagne, Spotnose spider, just don't. In my personal opinion. Again, I'm not the morality police. You'll be your own morality police. That's not my job. There's about 15 million people on the internet who will try to be your moral police, and I guess they can do that if they want. But for me, it's just not worth doing personally. So, Kurt, any questions about these guys?
Nope.
What do you think? Anything you like in there?
All of them.
All of them? I like that one. I really like that one. Where'd you go? That one here. Yeah. That one. That one's... And if you look at those two, if you pay a close attention, you can see how much crazier and wonkier the pattern is on this one versus that one. From the little bit we can see, though, right? We can't see everything. That's what's getting me this one a little bit higher than this one. But those are probably the two cream of the crop out of there, I think. But all in all, 8 healthy babies. I'll take it. That's a win. We're going to slide over to Patreon and kind of talk about what we're going to do with all these. It should be pretty simple. And we will catch you all next time.